guys, today we're going to read Rip Van Winkle. And we didn't find any authors. And Van Winkle could be the author because it's Rip. And then it's kind of separated, so it could be the author, but I'm guessing it's just part of the classic. If you know anything about this fairy tale, you'll probably know that it might be named Rip, or maybe Rip Van Winkle. If you know it, or it could be the author. If you leave me in the comments below. And I think it's from the classics fairy tale. Rip Van Winkle. Many years ago, in a small village in the Catskill Mountains, lived a man named Rip Van Winkle. So it doesn't, I don't think there's the author, there's a man named that. He was a simple, good-natured fellow with a nice wife, children, and a loyal dog named Wolf. Rip was the sort of person who always willing to help his neighbors whenever anyone needs help. Needed a hand. Rip was more than happy to pitch in. He was also very popular at the village. Children he always had time to play with them. He made them toys and loved telling them stories. The children adored his fun games and silly ways. And when Rip wasn't busy helping neighbors or playing with the children, he would be found resting under the shade of a beautiful tree enjoying the summer breeze. You see, while Rip was really good at doing things for others, he was terrible at taking care of his own needs. In fact, his farm was known to be the worst in the area, and his house was always in a state of disrepair. His wife eventually grew very frustrated and was constantly telling Rip that there was work to be done, but Rip thought no arrogant need to Ted to aid. In fact, to escape the farm work and upkeep his house, he would go often long hikes on mountain with his dog Wolf. One day he was enjoying a hike across. A little man with a long white beard. The man was dressed in old-fashioned Dutch clothes and was carrying a cake that looked like to be too heavy for him. The man beckoned to Rip to come and help him carry the cake. Rip, of course, happily agreed. And he followed the man further down the hill and through the forest. Rip heard a sort of rumbling. It sounded like thunder. Soon they came to a hollow surrounded by tall cliffs. There saw many more than men who just looked just like the man he had followed. They were playing a bowling a game called Nine Pins, and each time one rolled the pins, it sounded just like peals of thunder. The driver were very hungry, and instead Rip joined them. They drank a special brew for the king.
It's basic.
The brew was delicious. After his first taste, Rip couldn't resist having a cupful, followed by another, and then still another. The little man was pleased he liked it, and as much he deserved. had a heavy effect on Rip, making him feel tired, although he knew that if he didn't get home soon, his wife would get very angry. He couldn't help it and sit and tree as they sat there watching little white beard and playing ninepin, slowly drifted into a deep sleep with Wolf and Rifle by his side. When he woke up, it was a bright sunny morning and he's still in the exact same spot he recalled and hadn't sat down. However, when he put up his hand to pet Wolf, noticed his dog was gone. He's probably gone out to look for something to eat, thought Rip. Then when he reached off his rifle, he saw dull parts that rustled, and then somehow it had been reduced no more than a
This is basic.
And when Rip got here, he realized that his joints were stiff. He looked down and noticed his clothes were all faded and torn. When he touched his face and white beard, he felt the beard, which, as it turned out, was very, very white and 2 feet long. What happened after I nodded off? He wondered. Did those little men play a trick on me? So Rip grabbed his rifle, used it again, walking stick. He was determined to get back to the village and try to figure out what had happened. As he hiking through the forest, he wondered where the familiar path had gone. When he arrived to the village, he was further puzzled. Not only did the village seem much bigger, with many new buildings, but there seemed to have been many more people. None of whom he recognized, and all dressed in strange fashions. Rip began to feel very, very worried. Decided the best thing was to see if his house was still where it used to stand. And sure enough, it was there. Only it was completely dilapidated. It looked like no one had lived there in years. What has happened? Thought Rip. Feeling sad and confused, Rip made his way to the village square, where people gathered around him because he was such a strange sight to behold. No one seemed to recognize him. So he said, "I am Rip Van Winkle. Does anyone here remember me?" As he tried to explain who he was, he noticed a young woman holding a small child. She looked vaguely familiar to him. He asked her what her name was. She replied, "My name is Georgia." "And what's your father's name?" Why is Rip Van Winkle, but he went away 20 years ago and had never returned. Rip understood right away that this woman was his daughter. And when he had all grown up, she replied, "I am your father. I don't know how to explain this, but 20 years ago I went for a hike, and after drinking a brew given by me to some little white beard man. Except for 20 years, happy we finally recalled." They embraced. Judith told Rip that her brother was doing well, but that sadly their mother, Rip's wife, has passed away. She invited Rip to live with them and Rip gladly accepted. Meanwhile, more villagers gathered around, and one of them knew of the man. The Rip had been met in the woods. Everyone listened. He explained, long ago, those men were Hendrik Hansen's crew. They exploded, discovered the red lizard. Legend has it that every 20 years they magically appear to check on the land. Sometimes you can hear what thunderous sounds of their 9-pins game. But be worried of their generosity. If they offer you special food, do not drink it, for it will induce a very long sleep. Happy to have finally solved the mystery of what had happened, Rip Van Winkle spent the rest of his days living comfortably with his daughter and family, visiting his son, and getting to know all the new people in the village. Now that he was an old man, Rip could spend all his time he wished. He got to himself a new dog and took walks in the village before settling down rest again. Nearby trees, all the villagers came to know him in the old days. Rip was always lend anyone a helping hand. Most of all, Rip Van Winkle enjoyed the first glad Christmas child, and the rest of the village children. They could not have been happier than when Rip told them stories, taught them games, and made them toys. Rip made sure to never hike far into the mountains again, especially if he heard rebels or the tent, for fear that he would lose another 20 years. That's all. Bye, guys. See you next time.